Our garage door service is their specialty.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Pollution from the Mack Avenue plants on Detroit's east side will cost Stellantis more than $136,000. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has finalized its maker and plant that has been the focus of several complaints since it opened. Another odor violation was levied in October. The state took public comments about an earlier plan, and there have been a couple of changes. Stellantis will have to install a second oxidizer by next June. A plan to plant trees in Brewer Park has been canceled as residents spoke out against the idea. As a result of the changes, Stellantis will pay just over $136,000 in fines compared to an earlier fine of $62,000. A Novi man will spend more than 4 years in prison after using the identities of prison inmates to file bogus unemployment claims during the pandemic. He has the details.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says 40-year-old Terrell Mason was sentenced to 57 months behind bars and will have to pay the state $423,000 in restitution. Investigators say Mason filed the fraudulent claims knowing the inmates weren't eligible to receive the benefits. Mason looked up the inmates on websites or obtained the information from them when he said he would help them improve their credit ratings. Mason was sentenced after pleading guilty to fraud as well as identity theft charges.
A warning about the flu from the chief medical executive at Michigan Health Department. Dr. Natasha Bagdasarian said influenza cases are on the rise and the situation is expected to worsen over the next several weeks. These are the best way to protect yourself and families against the anticipated surge. This is National Influenza Vaccination Week, and the CDC and the State Health Department are reminding Michigan residents it's not too late to get your flu shots. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers at times here for today with cloudy skies and a high into the lower northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a chance for some rain showers, mostly cloudy, a low near 34. By Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high 44 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high around 40. Friday, chance for snow early, then mixing with rain, cloudy skies, a high around 40 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy sky conditions, a high around 38. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a high around 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 37.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.3 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. The show sponsored by Westside Decorating Center in Saginaw. Stop in at 4789 State Street to see their newly expanded showroom and everything you need for home decorating. We're going to spend a little time this hour seeing how healthy we can be over the holidays while we're stuffing ourselves. And to help us out with that, we welcome back to the program from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Shanthi Appelo. Shanthi, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, absolutely. All right. This, it's one of the happiest times of the year, but the holidays are not necessarily the healthiest time of the year, is it?
Right. I think that a lot of us are faced with a lot of parties, a lot of get-togethers, and for people with health goals, it can be really confusing of how to really navigate it. Like, do I prioritize my plan or do I go for all my favorite things?
Well, it's funny. I'm going to throw this out and see what you think of it.
All right.
I know go into the holidays saying, well, it's the holidays. I'm going to eat everything I want to eat. I'll gain a couple of pounds. But my New Year's resolution will be that I'll take it off. And then that goes by the wayside. Next year, we'll all be a little bit heavier, won't we? For the most part.
So what you're explaining here is true. So oftentimes though people they overestimate how much weight people gain. However, tends to be that people gain about 2 or so pounds around the holidays, and it tends to stay on. So when you think about that over the course of 10 years, that can be a 20-pound increase over those years. So it does matter over time, but I think there are some ways that we can kind of go around it and just make moderation a bigger goal.
Let me ask, I don't think I've ever asked you this. How important would it be to somebody to weigh themselves every morning?
Oh, goodness. That could be a recipe for some real mental kind of health problems. Weighing yourself every day can put a lot of pressure on you. And the thing to realize about your weight is that it fluctuates so much from day to day. Our fluids can have a big impact on it. And so once a week is usually the best way to weigh yourself because there can just be too much pressure of doing it every day.
So, moderation like everything else.
Right. We just don't want to let the scale dictate what we're going to do that day, right? So you might step on the scale and you see, oh, it's down a little bit. I'm going to eat more. Or you might see, oh, my goodness, I'm up quite a bit. I'm not going to eat, quite as much today. So you just really don't want to let the scale dictate that. Instead, just kind of working on what works, which is moderation and overall healthy eating, and then seeing what happens over time.
Yeah, it's funny because we react to the scale in just the opposite way we should.
Right.
On a scale and I see that I've dropped 2 pounds, I ought to tell myself, good work. Let's see how much more we can do. Right. That's not what happens.
Right.
I see I lost 2 pounds. Oh, I can have that extra snack today,
And even worse, you might step on the scale and think, oh, I lost a couple pounds and I've been eating not so great lately. I've been overdoing it on the servings. I better keep going. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm guilty of that. I'm a type 2 diabetic, but my A1C is fine. It's 6.2, has been for a long time. But I tell my doctor, I don't watch what I eat. I don't have a diet, so to speak. I eat everything I want to eat whenever I want to eat it. And he said, good luck with that. So it's worked out so far, but we're all different. Our bodies all react differently, don't they?
Exactly. What works for someone might not work for someone else. Exactly.
All right. So let me put this scenario forth. I've been invited to Shanthi Appelo's home for Christmas Eve.
Right.
I know what I'd find on my table is probably not going to be the same thing you're going to find on yours. What would I have at Shanthi Appelo's home for Christmas Eve?
Well, I think one of the reasons that my table might be a little different than yours is, I was born and raised in Sweden. So the cuisine you find at my table is different just because it's culturally different. But one of my favorite things that are one of my healthier items that you're going to find on a Swedish Christmas table is gravlax. And that is cured salmon, which has been cured in a mixture of salt and sugar with peppercorns, white peppercorns, and dill. And so it cures for a few days and it comes out this beautiful texture, just like smoked salmon, but a different flavor. So that's a good one. However, I do love to make, the vegetables the star of the show. And on a Healthier Michigan this year, we have quite a few fun recipes. One of those is going to be a caprese wreath. So we always love around the holidays making everything look more festive, right? So what's better than a combo of white, red, and green? So I have this idea where you can make cherry tomatoes and little mozzarella pearls with basil into a wreath and serve it with some balsamic reduction, and it makes a beautiful salad that's, wonderfully presented. You're going to get a lot of antioxidants in there. I've also got an idea on there for a sweet. So, oftentimes a lot of the cookies and things you find on the table are going to be full of all the processed ingredients. So I have this really wonderful idea of these chocolate covered dates. and the dates are pitted, and you fill them with cashew butter. And then you dip them in some dark chocolate. You can even drizzle the dark chocolate to tone it down. And I like to use 60% because it melts wonderfully in the microwave. However, it still has some antioxidants and fiber. And then finally put some hazelnuts on top, and it's a wonderful treat.
Let me understand that. You take a date,
Mm-hmm.
you stuff it with cashew butter.
Uh-huh. Only like
Then
a half a
you dip it
teaspoon
in-
or so.
Then you dip it in dark chocolate.
Yeah, dip or drizzle. Yeah, if you want to tone down on the calories quite a bit, you can just
Then
drizzle
you
it.
put hazelnuts on the outside.
Yeah, so it's minimally processed. It's very few ingredients, and the sweetness is coming from that date instead of a bunch of added sugar.
And the chocolate, of course.
Well, it doesn't have quite so much in the 60% dark. Yeah,
Ooh, but yeah, this is where I think we all get confused.
right.
Because we've been told over time, the darker the chocolate, the better it is for us, and it's healthy. At what point does it not become healthy? How much is too much? I mean, if I feel like eating something healthy and I say, "Oh, I'm going to go have some dark chocolate,"
Well, the thing about dark chocolate is that oftentimes it's a lot more satisfying because you don't tend to just stuff your face the same way you would with milk chocolate. The fiber in it is going to be more satisfying. It's going to be more filling, but there's that sensation of the dark chocolate that just makes it to where you're eating it slower and you may not need as much. So the key to these are also the portion size. The dates that I mentioned, they're frozen. And so when you take it bite by bite, you're just getting a lot of satisfaction in each one. And you're not gonna, well, personally, I don't tend to go back for so many more.
my probably one of my all-time favorite snacks is dark chocolate covered cashews.
Ooh, that's a good one. And you know what they have nowadays at the store? They have them where they're dusted in dark chocolate instead of having the dark chocolate coating. And they are actually wonderful.
No.
You might have your teeth might be completely black after you finish eating them, but they are so delicious and a lot healthier.
Dusted in well, how are they healthier? That's an interesting question. First of all, let's talk about cashews. They're healthy, right?
So
They are a
cashews
healthy nut.
on their own, like healthy fats, they've got some fiber, they've got some antioxidants. However, if you overdo it like anything else, obviously it's not healthy. But the thing is about anything that's so full of fat, even if it's a healthy fat per se, is that it has a lot more calories than, carbohydrates and protein. When we look at them gram to gram, fat has 9 calories per gram versus only 4 in protein and carbs. So that's why we just have to be a little bit extra careful when we're pouring up ourselves a serving size of cashews. You want to do a handful and not a full cup.
Well,
Right?
and that's typically when I say, it's my favorite snack, I'll sit down with maybe 6 or 7 dark chocolate covered cashews, and that's my snack. But you're saying that they dust them in cocoa?
Yeah, they dust them in cocoa. So
Chocolate.
right. So one of the keys to why that's healthier is it's going to cut down on the saturated fat. Because oftentimes if you see a type of fat that's solid at room temperature, that means it's a saturated fat. However, when you melt it, put it in the microwave or heat it however you want, it's fluid. So that's a telltale sign of something being saturated fat, something that's not great for our heart over time. However, if you're just having 7 of them, that's great. But for people, who prefer to have it a little bit lighter where there's not a coating, the dusted ones are a great option.
All right, hang on. Got to take a break. Talking to Shanthi Appelo from Blue Cross Blue Shield, Michigan at holidays, how to eat healthier and stay healthier during the holidays. More coming up.
We all bring something unique to the table. And at Jolt Credit Union, we celebrate that. We're more than a credit union. We're your advocate, invested in your well-being. Our roots run deep in the great, and we understand that by helping our members achieve their personal goals, our whole community is made that much stronger. We're proud to serve our members with branches in Saginaw, Bay City, and Essexville. We make a promise to every member to give it all we've got, every day and everywhere. Bold ideas lead to memorable results. So roll up your sleeves and join us as we go all in. Become a member today by visiting a nearby branch or get started at joltcu.com. Jolt Credit Union, offering a powerful shift to a better way of banking. NCUA.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. Dot-com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are mixed in early trading. AutoZone reported a better than expected quarter, though its shares opened lower. Texas-based energy company NRG business, Vivint Smart Home. Vivint shares are up 32%. The U.S. Army has awarded a major contract to Textron's Bell unit to produce technology that will replace the Black Hawk utility helicopter. Textron shares are up 8%. Kroger says the FTC wants more information on its merger with Albertsons. It plans to go through with the merger, completing it in early 2024. And Amazon has reached a final deal with European regulators and will increase visibility of rival products. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola.
Starting to realize your small business is a little overwhelmed by the holiday rush? It's still not too late to get all of your shipping and mailing under control with Stamps.com. Sign up right now, and you'll be printing your own postage in just minutes with discounted USPS and UPS shipping rates. Just go to Stamps.com, click the mic at the top of the page, and use code BUSINESS for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, code BUSINESS.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Dr. Travis Stork here to tell you about a great pain reliever called Salon Pass Pain Relieving Patches. Salon Pass is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salon Pass reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
You have the chance to win your mortgage or rent paid for in 2023 up to $18,000. It's the W for the Holidays contest, presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online at WSGW.com. Look for the Home for the Holidays box. You can enter once per day with bonus entries too. Entry deadline December 21st. Home for the Holidays, presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online, WSGW.com.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show. So now we're supposed to believe Twitter saved democracy by stopping democracy. Is that kind of a less is more argument? I don't know. What does that mean?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Little music of the season from Mannheim Steamroller. And we are back with Shanthi Appelo from Blue Cross Blue Shield, Michigan. And she, of course, is a registered dietitian and nutritionist and all that good stuff. So if someone wants healthy recipes for the holidays, where can they go to get them?
Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan has a wonderful website for this. It's called ahealthiermichigan.org. And the great thing about this website is that all of the recipes are free. We have a lot of other health information on there. For example, if you like to run, what are the best ways to run in the winter? So a lot of good tips on there. And we also have something called the MI Blue Skill if you have an Alexa or a Google device. So you can find more recipes on those.
So let me ask this question. It's a serious question, and I'm not sure whether we'll chat before the end of the year or not. I was kind of kidding before. A lot of people go into the holidays. They figure they can gorge themselves because then they'll make a resolution and lose weight in the new year. Going into the new year, is it realistic to make a resolution that says, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, what have you? Or is there a better way to do it?
Well, I think one of the things I like to recommend, first of all, is to look at New Year's intentions instead of New Year's resolutions. Setting intentions to work on certain parts of your life. So, that's a lot more goal focused. So if you want to lose weight, you might set an intention to exercise more, whether that's 3 times a week for 30 minutes or whatever specific goal that might be. But intentions seem to just be a better way to create an outlook for the year ahead, I think.
Is it smart to use one of the known diets, the Atkins and all those diets? One's no fat, one's no carbs. Or are you better off just eating less and exercising more?
Generally, eating less and exercising more is going to be the best way. And I say that for a few reasons. One is that when you consider these diets, like, you mentioned Atkins or whatever diet it may be, oftentimes they're restricting some kind of food group entirely. So, for example, if you're looking at a diet, this is actually one of the diet red flags, and they say you can't have grains, you can't have legumes, whatever it may be. That's usually a red flag because oftentimes the food groups are there for a reason, and they're going to offer a ton of nutrients that are good for us. And also when we think of restriction, that can also lead to problems later down the road, because when we restrict, we might be more likely to want the very thing that we, are restricting. So once we start seeing results, which oftentimes when something is very restricted, we do see results, we're like, okay, well, I'll have a bite of that. That pizza does sound really fantastic. And then it's very difficult to control yourself around that said pizza.
Wait a minute now. Is pizza unhealthy?
Well, oftentimes, right, like these diets are going to be like, hey, cookies are a no-go, pizza are a no-go, but these are things that we can have in our lives because, again, when we restrict things, people are more likely to binge on them and to overdo it because we don't feel that sense of control around those foods. So it creates the sense of good foods, immoral foods, things like that.
I thought pizza was health food. I mean, you have your carbs and your dough, you've got your dairy and your cheese, you've got your vegetables and your tomatoes.
Hey, when you describe it like that, it sounds quite balanced.
Yeah, you want the protein, put some meat on it. You got a healthy meal. Not really, though. Because we can't just eat one slice. That's also the problem, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Take all the fun out of it.
I think actually there are so many different ways to make healthy food fun, and that's something I really focus on in the recipes on healthiermichigan.org is, making vegetables taste good. It's no secret that food inflation is at an all-time high.
Yes, indeed.
I know that a lot of families are struggling, sometimes maybe they were able to entertain, maybe now they can't. Maybe they're struggling to put food on the table in general, right? It just depends on the family. But it's so important to focus on these healthy things that are affordable and making them taste good, right?
Yeah. Yes. Particularly with inflation the way it is.
Yeah.
But still, we talked about diets before and the ones that take away things, We hear a lot about the Mediterranean diet.
Mhm.
Is it any different than all the rest of these diets?
So,
what is it?
right. So the Mediterranean diet, and you're going to hear the DASH diet along with this one, usually always get the top 2 spots on the best diets. It's been in the top 2 spots, the Mediterranean diet, for the past 5 years. So the reason for that is oftentimes it doesn't restrict, but it's really heavily focused on healthy ingredients. So healthy fats from things like olive oil and, the fatty parts of fish. It's going to really heavily focus on fish, actually, as the proteins, which we know that the omega-3s are great for you. They're usually a lean type of protein. We see a lot of benefits associated with fish when we have them at least twice a week. Nuts are a big focus, again, those healthy fats. And so they have a lot of health components that support heart health, that support people who have diabetes. And it's oftentimes focused more on portion size.
So let's talk about that fish for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The fish is the fish. If I broil my fish or I pan fry my fish, no batter, that's okay. If I batter my fish and deep fry it, have I removed all the benefits of the fish?
So you're definitely getting a lot of benefits still of the fish. It's going to have the protein. It's going to have oftentimes omega-3, depending on which type of fish you're choosing. However, you're definitely adding some unhealthy value to it as well. So the calories, of course, are there. And oftentimes when we fry something, it soaks up an exceptional amount of oil or whatever type of fat that leads to calories and also some unhealthy calories.
So what if I bread it and put it in an air fryer?
Oh my goodness, I love air fryers for this reason. I think salmon does exceptionally well in the air fryer. And actually, something to consider if you do like breaded fish is that it doesn't require a lot of effort to do it. So one of the things I like to do is simply brush a little bit of Dijon mustard on my salmon and then sprinkle a mixture of panko breadcrumbs and pistachios that I've crushed up on top. And it makes for an excellent breading. You don't need to do the egg wash and all of those kind of things that add extra steps. Instead, that Dijon mustard acts as a really nice way to adhere the crumbs.
Yeah, we have an air fryer we used. Just this Sunday, I made chimichangas at home. And my wife and I have different tastes. I made me a seafood chimichanga. She had a ground beef chimichanga with Diablo sauce, but I air fry them. And what I'll do when I air fry them is I'll take just a little bit of Pam, just a touch, buttered Pam or something like that, and lightly spray it on the pre-made or the burrito that I made. Put that in the air fryer. And then I totally destroy the healthiness because I make a lobster bisque sauce. It's out of this world, but it has milk in it. It has butter in it. It has flour in it, and all those things. And on a lobster base. But the air frying.
Sounds delicious. And one of the things to consider too is that it's okay to add some, like, you're not ruining your meal by adding some components that maybe aren't the healthiest. We can't always be perfect, but if we're focusing on making the majority of our meal, healthy, that's the best way to do it. And I think that's a great example that you did there.
Yeah, because my lobster sauce is I start out with equal parts of flour and butter, make a roux, and I put lobster base in with it, and then I pour in milk. And then I use chicken broth. And the only other seasoning I add is a little white pepper. And I keep whisking and whisking so it's smooth when I'm done. And just slightly thickened. And I'll put that over the chimichanga.
All right, Chef Art in the house. Where can we find your recipes?
or seafood ravioli is another passion of mine. So...
Yeah.
We did for years on this station though it went back to 1952, but I did it for 30 some odd years, a show called Listen to the Missus, which was a cooking show. And we have 11 cookbooks. And most of the recipes came from listeners.
That's
so
wonderful.
It was a good run. So I like to fool around in the kitchen.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I am not the healthiest cook in the world, but I like to fool around in the kitchen. So again, let's leave everybody with the website.
healthiermichigan.org. Again, it's free, and we have tons of recipes and health information on there.
Shanthi, it's always a pleasure. And have a very, very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you, too.
I'm sure we'll talk to you in the new year.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye now. Shanthi Appelo from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. We always enjoy chatting with her, and we're glad she was with us today. We'll be back. Open phones for the remainder of the hour.
Mike here from Westside Decorating Center. Are you looking to save time when shopping? We all are. The next time you need paint, flooring, or window treatments, stop into our and knowledgeable staff members available to help. We sell top quality ceramic paint from California Paints. Ceramic paints provide a washable and stain resistant finish. We also have interior designers on staff to assist with flooring and window treatments. We even make house calls. For your next project, remember to use California Paints from Westside Decorating Center. We're located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores, where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Staff regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease, asthma, diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52, 36, 42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. That's our thing.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, at prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com, prostatesecrets.com.
Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans, no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the costs and passing along the savings to you, so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit smithandwesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson, always expect the best.
Larkin calmly picks it up, slowly makes his way in on goal. Now steps it up, shoots and scores!
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we're back with you on WSGW. And let's go to our phones. Gene finally got back with us. We appreciate that. Gene is in Bay City. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm turning 83, so of course, liver and kidneys aren't all that great anymore, being that age. But I always make it a point to eat an apple every day and at least some vegetables. Now, I haven't been able to get to the store in about a week and a half or more, and ran out of apples and no vegetables in the house either.
Oops.
And I can really tell. I at one time I had a lot of my ankles. Well, eating and vegetables every day, all that swelling went away. Now, not eating any apples or vegetables for over a week, I'm starting to get swelling back in my ankles again. So that is my experience. If you retain fluid, you have to be eating a lot of fruits and vegetables.
So, Gene,
especially if you're in your 80s.
Yeah, let me ask a question, Gene. You couldn't get to the store. Is there no one that could go for you and pick up some of those items for you?
You get so busy with other things that you just don't do things the way you're supposed to.
Oh, okay. So it was a matter of you were doing other things. Okay. All right. Well, then.
Okay. Now, the main reason I'm calling, that was just my health advice. But I wanted to talk about the waitress situation and the tip situation. Now, being old, back in the old days, the waitresses made just a small amount of money. Well, people started giving tips because they knew that. And if they had a good wait, come and ask if they needed more coffee and, really, what a good waitress is and a lousy waitress.
Oh, yeah.
You
bet.
And people started giving tips. And that was the whole purpose. If you had a good waitress or you asked for a lot of extra things, you made it up to her by giving her a tip.
Yeah. And you gave less to somebody who was not as good.
Well, this is the situation. When I was a young girl, I loved cooking, and I got a job at the Michigan House, which was a German restaurant.
Right up there on Bay Road.
If you ever went in there, I might have cooked for you at one time when I was real young. But, being young and naive and shy, I wasn't making much money, and I didn't have the sense to keep asking for a raise. And anyway, I ended up quitting because I wasn't making enough money. But anyhow, the waitresses there, this is how it went. Now, if you're with a big family group and you have a really good waitress, you would give her $20. Well, I get to keep that $20. And I know people aren't aware of that. In most restaurants, now every owner is different, every restaurant is different. But in a lot of them, they have a big jar, and all the waitresses have to put all their tips in the jar. And then at the end of the night, they divide the money equally between all the waitresses.
Right.
Well, that was not the purpose. I mean, the good waitresses, when I give somebody $20 as a tip, I'm giving it to them.
That's right. I agree.
I'm not giving it to them to put in a
I agree.
with the waitress. That's lousy.
Yeah, I agree. And it doesn't incentivize the not so good ones to get better because they know they're going to get their piece one way or another. But the other side of that coin, though, first of all, I don't like that system. You're absolutely right. But the other side of that coin is that the good waitresses and waiters who are making the big money, seeing the other lazy ones that aren't making any money, might force them to do better so that they put more money in that jar. Because the other ones who aren't getting as much money have an impact on those that are. So
it should be that way, but people
but it's
are
not.
people.
I know it.
People are different. But this is the other thing that really, really made me angry. The Atrium Restaurant in Bay City here. I had a friend that was a hostess that worked there, and then over a couple of years, I knew the bartender and couple of the waitresses. And what they told me is they did that system. You put all your tips in a jar.
Right.
Well, they say they got in a day 200 just for an even number. The owner of the restaurant took half of their tips.
Oh, I wouldn't work
so
there.
The restaurant she took say out of 200, she'd take $100 for her restaurant.
I wouldn't
and
work
then
there.
the other 100 that was left was divided up in between the waitresses.
Like I say,
which was very, very wrong, and they hated it, but they did make good money in tips regardless of that. So they stayed. Most of them stayed for a while.
I wouldn't. All right, Gene.
I couldn't hardly believe that. I mean, that.
Oh, I can believe it. I mean, there are those that are greedy. So, listen, I've got to go, kid. I got to take a break.
Well, God bless you. Thank you for listening.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. Lines open for you.
Homeowners, Bob Wilsey of SunTech Wind and Solar here in Standish. Are you looking for energy independence for your home? You should be. Michigan utilities are closing the remaining coal plants soon, resulting in more power outages. Home solar with battery backup not only provides power during the grid outage, it reduces your light bill every day the sun shines. Unlike a generator, it just sets. How it all works. Come visit us at 319 South Main Street in Standish or visit us at suntech-windsolar.com.
When it comes to protecting your field from disease and environmental stress, there's Revitec fungicide, and there's everything else. When it comes to unparalleled power, there's Revitec, and everything else. And when it comes to speed and stamina, this is Revitec, and this is everything else. Nothing else comes close to Revitec fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Let's face it, it's a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Here's to Prilosec OTC. Without Prilosec, I wouldn't be able to enjoy all this yummy holiday food. Speaking of, whoever made that apple pie, delicious. I just take one pill each morning and zero heartburn all day. So cheers to Prilosec OTC. Ooh, are those jalapeno poppers?
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn. Holidays. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. News and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Let's get back to our phones. Bill is in Saginaw Township, so we say good morning to Bill.
Good morning, sir. And today I'd like to help Jean with her vegetable problem. All she's got to do is go to the store and pick up a couple jugs of V8.
Yeah.
An 8-ounce glass of V8 equals 2 servings of vegetables.
So they say. Yes, indeed.
And as an added bonus, it even tastes good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy vegetables and wash them and keep them and store them and pick them out. That stuff will do. I'd never be without it.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice.
And I'm 86, and I've still got a 35-year-old brain and my boyish laughter. So.
Welcome to my world. All right, Bill. Great.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Mm-hmm.
And in Caucalan, we find Ben this morning. Ben, good morning.
Good. I just heard Jean mention something, and I hope I don't ruin her day here, but she mentioned Das Michigan House there on Delta Road and on West Side Saginaw Bay Road.
Yep.
They started demolition of that yesterday.
Well, that's interesting. I assumed, bad word, but I assumed that was going to happen. Someone who I know who is a restaurateur a couple of years ago obtained it and was going to put in an international type restaurant with international fare, and then COVID hit.
Okay.
And that idea went down the drain, and I'm not surprised that it's going to come down. I wonder if somebody bought the property and is going to put something else there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that place has been around since, I believe, 1890-ish type
period. Long time.
Yep.
Long
it
time.
Had a speakeasy connected to it on the west side.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know much about the history of it.
Yeah, but she's coming down.
You hate to see that because some of these old buildings have so much history and so much story behind them.
Correct.
But reality sets in at some point in time.
You got that right.
So that's it's unfortunate it's coming down, but who knows? Maybe something will replace it that is worthwhile.
Yep, we'll see.
All right.
Well, you have a good day.
Hey, Ben, thanks for the info. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. All right. We're going to take our last pause here, but we will have open lines during Focus next hour. So if you didn't get in this hour, you can give us a call next hour and join us right here on the radio.
This holiday season, join all of us at Wildfire Credit Union as we do something new and very special to benefit members of our community in need. Introducing Wildfire's Holiday Harvest Giveaway. From November through December, all Wildfire branches will have bags of shelf-stable food available to purchase for $10 per bag. Each bag can feed a family for up to 1 week. Wildfire worked in conjunction with Hidden Harvest to make the food available, and all Wildfire branches are partnered with area food pantries to ensure all sold bags are handed out to families in need. Over 1,000 bags of food will be available for sale. We also have 150 bags for pets. All proceeds from the sold bags will go to Hidden Harvest ongoing mission of getting food to families. Let's do something special together. and make the holidays a little easier and brighter for those in need. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting or the whole company, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. That's our thing.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. Send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling. All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today, but we're going to have an extended version because we will carry open phones right through Focus coming up after the news. The news is next here on WSGW, and then we'll be back with more good conversation.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. Nearly 2 years attack law enforcement people who defended the building are right now getting the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest honor Congress bestows. Capitol Police Lieutenant Ted Hopkins.
It's important to relate how bad it really was, from the verbal abuse, from the actual physical assaults to the chemicals, impact weapons.
The CBS's Scott McFarlane on Capitol Hill.
The legislation ordering these medals formally mentions the officers who died after January 6th. Brian Sicknick died of multiple strokes, and the officers who died by suicide. They'll be a focus area of this ceremony today inside the Capitol Rotunda, a site of rioter attacks.
It's Election Day in Georgia, a day of decision in the high-stakes Senate runoff pitting the Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
Many of the voters I spoke with are like Marvin and his wife Pam, who wanted to vote early but couldn't.
We were out of town for a week and we couldn't do it. So we would have voted early, but we got in late last night and decided to come on.
Vince says life took over for him last week, but voting today was easy breezy.
Once the line opened at 7, it was, really quick.
In fact, it took me less than 5 minutes to vote. Michelle Wright for CBS News, Atlanta.
Former Republican Congressman David Rivera from Florida has been arrested on charges of money laundering and representing a foreign government without registering. He had a multi-million-dollar consulting deal with Venezuela's government. Still a mess in a North Carolina county after the attack that crippled 2 power substations.
With more than 30,000 homes and businesses in Moore County facing a third day without power and heat, Duke Energy hopes to have all of the electricity restored sometime Thursday.
When people don't have heat in their homes or can't cook for themselves, those kinds of things, it can create personal disaster in your life.
2 power substations in the county an hour southwest of Raleigh were knocked offline Saturday after they were hit by gunfire and what investigators are calling an intentional criminal act. Jim Chrysoulis, North Carolina.
For a second day, drone strikes have rattled nerves inside Russia. Today it was an oil facility near an airfield. Yesterday, a pair of airfields hit. Ukrainian forces have been blamed by Moscow. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab.
This morning, Ukraine is also denying being responsible for those attacks deep inside Russian territory, only saying that such incidences are, and I'm quoting here, karma for Russia's invasion.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 185 points. The NASDAQ is down 172, and the S&P is down 42. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bubble Tea Brew House. You are going to get a family 4-pack of bubble teas from the Bubble Tea Brew House in Saginaw for only $12. It's usually $24, but you are getting it half off. The Bubble Tea Brew House is located at 4370 Bay Road in Saginaw, and they have hundreds of flavor combinations. Literally, you pick it, you get it. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting or the whole company, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. It's our thing.
Live from the 100.5 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 39 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchek. Jury deliberations in a 2019 murder case in Bay City has resulted in a mistrial. 31-year-old Gene Woods was a resident of a drug recovery home, killed on June 22nd, 2019, after a fight with his roommate, 54-year-old Tracy Canary. During the trial, Canary's defense claimed he acted out of self-defense, while the prosecution argued he acted with malicious intent. Video surveillance of the incident shows Woods first striking Canary in the face. After a struggle, Canary placed Woods in a chokehold and held him there until police arrived. A medical examiner's report indicated Woods died from asphyxiation. Bay County Circuit Court Judge Joseph Sheeran has set a new trial date for March 11th. A Bay County man has pleaded no contest to abandoning or cruelty to several animals for neglecting to help care for a deer. 58-year-old Dale Reinhardt and his ex-wife, 57-year-old Pamela Reinhardt, are accused of neglecting to feed the deer at their Beaver Township home, resulting in 36 of the animals starving to death. Court records indicate the Reinhardts were going through a divorce last fall, and Dale was no longer able to afford to feed the deer, leaving their care to Pamela, who allegedly neglected to feed the animals even after animal control officials visited the property and instructed her to buy feed. Dale Reinhardt may avoid jail time as part of a plea agreement. Pamela Reinhardt is also charged with abandoning or cruelty to animals. The Midland Police Department is going through the final steps of an accreditation. A team from the Michigan Law Enforcement Association Commission will arrive December 19th for on-site assessment. As part of the process, employees and members of the general public can give their comments to the assessment team by calling 839-4723 or 839-4712 between 10 a.m. and noon on December 19th. Comments are limited to 5 minutes and most focus on the agency's ability to comply with commission standards. WSGW News Time 11:07.
This holiday season, join all of us at Wildfire Credit Union as we do something new and very special to benefit members. Introducing Wildfire's Holiday Harvest Giveaway. From November through December, all Wildfire branches will have bags of shelf-stable food available to purchase for $10 per bag. Each bag can feed a family for up to 1 week. Wildfire worked in conjunction with to make the food available, and all Wildfire branches are partnered with area food pantries to ensure all sold bags are handed out to families in need. Over 1,000 bags of food will be available for sale. We also have 150 bags for pets. All proceeds from the sold bags will go to Hidden Harvest to further support their ongoing mission of getting food to families. Special together and make the holidays a little easier and brighter for those in need. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A motion filed in federal court is calling for a life sentence for Adam Fox, one of the men convicted of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Prosecutors say a life sentence can be applied under a terrorism enhancement linked to his weapon of mass destruction conspiracy conviction. And even without that enhancement, they say he would have faced a sentence of 30 years to life. They say his goal was not personal gain, but a bona fide revenue. Investigators say Fox, Barry Croft, and other militia members planned to kidnap Governor Whitmer because they were upset over her executive orders during the pandemic. Stellantis' top North American executive says he'll do his best to make sure the shift to electric vehicles doesn't cost any jobs. Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert has this.
Yes, EVs will need fewer workers to build, says Stellantis Chief Operating Officer Mark Stewart, but he tells the Automotive News World Congress they're locating their battery plants near assembly plants so that workers can be easily moved as needs change.
We make our profitability, but at the same time, we protect our folks, right? And I want to make sure for our folks and nobody left behind.
Stewart says Stellantis is talking to a lot of municipalities about the location of their third EV battery plant. An announcement should come early next year. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
A mega jackpot for the Mega Millions lottery game tonight. The jackpot is $354 million. If a winner takes the cash option, they'll receive nearly $187 million before taxes. The winning numbers will be drawn just before 11 p.m. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers at times here for today with cloudy skies and a high into the lower 40s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a chance for some rain showers, mostly cloudy, a low near 34. By Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high 44 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high around 40. Friday, chance for snow early, then mixing with rain, cloudy skies, a high around 40 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy sky conditions, a high around 38. Sunday, mostly cloudy and a high around 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 39.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, easy, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax. And remember, it's spelled with 2 X's. For this portion for Focus for the next 20 minutes or so, we'll have open phones. No guests today, so we will just continue our open phone portion of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit home studio. You might have heard Charlie mention this earlier this morning on the Morning Team show. Real ID. This is the little gold star that's put on your driver's license. And in order to get it, you have to show proof of citizenship when you renew your driver's license. So you need to bring a birth certificate or a passport or something that guarantees your citizenship in the country. And in the upper right-hand corner, you get a little gold star. And without that, originally, as far back as 2008, if you didn't have one of those, you weren't going to be able to fly. But they keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back, and the pandemic got in the way. And now they say that about half of Americans have real ID driver's licenses, and they want to get that number up. So they have delayed compliance for the real ID licenses and identification cards. Under the previous deadline, the real ID compliant license would have been required to board a plane starting May of this coming year, May 3rd of 2023. But the deadline's now been pushed to 2025, and they are blaming the pandemic on it. You know, I really wonder about that. I wonder if the pandemic's really having much of an issue on it, because you still had to have your driver's license during the pandemic. And you know, the main portion, the main body of the pandemic has passed. We're still suffering, you know, some folks suffer with COVID now, and some have passed away from it. But the main body of the pandemic is gone, and I think it's time we not use it as an excuse anymore. But this is only, I mean, you know, I don't know how many times now it's been delayed, multiple times. Goes back to 2005. Because originally you were supposed to have it by 2008. Well, that's 14 years ago. That's how many times it's been delayed. And right now they're saying about a third of Americans do not have the real ID compliant license. So I would suggest to you that whenever your driver's license is up for renewal, if you do not have the real ID compliant license, bring your birth certificate with you or your passport just to be safe. And you will not be able to do that online, I don't believe. I think you have to actually go make an appointment at the Secretary of State's office, because you have to show them the paperwork. And when I got mine, I had my passport or my birth certificate with me. I don't remember now. Because I was originally going to renew my chauffeur's license, my CDL. And then I decided not to. And in talking to them about it, and this goes back a few years now, 4 or 5 years, they said, well, you had to have your proof with you for what you were going to do. Do you have your proof of citizenship? I said, yeah. So they gave me the real ID license. Just just another step in the process, so to speak. But eventually, sometime in the future, right now it's 2025, who knows what will happen then, it's going to be required if you want to fly. So go get it done. There will be other forms, by the way, of proof of citizenship that you could use, but the license all in one makes it kind of easy to do. You don't have to have a passel of other paperwork with you in order to board the airplane. But again, they delay it and they delay it and they delay it. So who knows when it will actually happen. Let me take a moment to talk to you about your sleep. You know, we're asked to do more for less in this age. So when we spend approximately 1/3 of our life in bed, we really need quality sleep. And you can get that sleep on a mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, they've been making custom mattresses since 1935. Rest assured, the sanitary mattress you're sleeping on was made right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Further, the money you spend stays right here in the local economy. In addition, Sanitary Mattress offers 1 hour delivery window of your mattress so you don't have to wait around all day. Sanitary Mattress can also make a custom mattress for your RV or boat, something the box stores can't do. The next time you need a mattress, think of Sanitary Mattress. Put them in your GPS at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, or call them 989-753-1757. Check them out on the web at sanitarymattress.com. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sanitary Mattress Company, where you'll find everything from a crib to a king and everything in between. And you know something else I found out that I didn't know about Sanitary Mattress? They can rehab your old mattresses. So if you've got one that's in need of work, they can take care of it. Take a break, come back, we'll get to Dave, who's waiting on the line for us.
This season, get medieval on Rhizoctonia with the powerful protection of Excalia fungicide from Valent USA. Here to shield your sugar beets from the treachery of Rhizoctonia, Excalia delivers excellent staying power, keeping your sugar beets from being conquered. Stay one step ahead of Rhizoctonia with the powerful protection of Excalia. Ask your retailer or visit valent.com/Excalia to learn more. Always read and follow label instructions.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. Complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Larkin calmly picks it up, slowly makes his way in on goal. Now steps it up, shoots and scores!
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, let's go to our phones here, and Dave is in Bay City. Dave, good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you, Art. It's been a while.
Oh, glad to talk to you.
Well, so what's on my mind this morning, I'm looking at an article in Bridge, Michigan, about our governor's very ambitious agenda for the next couple years. There's three things mentioned here: right to work repeal, tax cuts, and she defines tax cuts as being things like expanding the earned income tax credit, which I don't really think it is.
Right.
But here's the big one. Gun control. So already we've got Representative Jeffrey Pepper last Thursday introduced HB 6544 and 6546. I am not conversant in the whole realm of all this stuff, but it's pretty major gun control there.
What are they controlling? Can you define what they're controlling? Does it have to do with magazine size, type of weapon?
It is addressed at quote unquote assault style weapons, which again, it's a misnomer because
Yeah, of course
assault
it is.
weapons have a select fire switch, and these are semi-automatic weapons, and
Well, the AR doesn't
again,
even stand for assault rifle. Doesn't even stand for that.
Armalite.
Yep.
Exactly. But again, being knowledgeable about these things, facts about these things, gets in the way of a good narrative, and that's all we're concerned with.
Yeah.
So, again, I just want to make your audience aware, because I know you've got a very well-informed and very active audience. And, now is going to be the time to speak up or forever hold your peace, because, we the people still have the deciding direction of our country.
Yeah.
No matter which.
That's true.
I mean,
it's,
here's another hopeful thing for us in this part of Michigan. There was a Detroit News article about our incoming state senator, Kristen Rivette, indicating that she could be Michigan's Joe Manchin.
Oh.
Now, so, look that one up. Detroit News by Chad Livengood.
I will. What I need to look up, though, is I need to look up the majorities in the House and Senate, and I have been woefully lax on doing that. Because if she's our Joe Manchin, does that mean they only have a 1-vote margin in the Senate?
I believe they have a 2-vote margin in both House and Senate.
All right.
So it's pretty close.
Yeah,
and there
it
are
is.
a lot of very conservative parts of Michigan that are going to be represented by a Democrat. So, those of us, I mean, they all need to hear from those of us who are the loyal opposition. And this is the time to stand up for your rights.
I'm glad you
put your.
I'm glad you brought this up, Dave, because I will follow up on this, because this will be a significant story if it comes to fruition. If either of these bills even look close to passage.
Well, it ought to be already, because, again, they're not wasting any time, and they're going to be ready at the gate to jump on this stuff. Now, thankfully, the people in the federal House of Representatives are going to be ready as well. So, again, you've got to be engaged. Have your state rep, your state senator's phone number in your speed dial, seriously. And every time you hear something that concerns you, pick up that phone, give them a call. That's more good than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll have to get, I'll have to get Mike Avery on. I know he'll talk about it on his show, but see if I can get Mike on and chat about it. I'll be seeing him tomorrow night. I'll ask him.
Awesome.
All right. Great. Thank you, Dave.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Hanukkah.
Thank you. Same to you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good day. Bye-bye now. That's something to keep our eye on for sure. All right. That'll do it for calls. We thank Dave for getting in during this this period, and we thank you for listening. We're going to take a break and then come back and get ready for the farm show. All of that is ahead.
Had your family's eyes checked lately? Most insurances end at the end of the year, so if you don't use it, you lose it. Now's the time to get that annual exam you've been putting off. Having school-aged children's eyes checked can help treat possible issues with schoolwork and prevent other eye-related diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or